We are Dexian, in the business for good.
$1 billion in revenue, over 10,000 employees spread across 70 locations, and half of Fortune 500 companies as your clients. Maaruf, you should be very proud on your 30th anniversary.
Thank you. And I am grateful to be in this place, yes, of having a company of that scale and size. When we established it 30 years ago, we only had a big dream. And it's an honor to be able to get to $1 billion, which we did about 2 years ago.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
If someone came up to you and said that, Maaruf, nice meeting you, you're the founder, CEO of Dexian. What does Dexian do? How would you answer that?
I would say that we are a talent solutions company, that we provide services to our clients for their talent needs, whether it's temporary talent, permanent talent, project talent, upskilling talent. So we have a platform of services to our clients where, as they need projects and need talent for those projects, we provide that.
Very nice. But I also noticed that you're moving from talent staffing to talent solutions. And I found that the choice of words very interesting.
That's
so
right.
Do you want to expand on why are you focusing on solutions and not just staffing?
So staffing is more transactional. It's for short-term projects. You are more of a vendor to your clients. We have had 30 years of relationship with our clients, and they trust us to provide us consultative services. So when you get to solutions, you're actually solving projects for them. So as we have built those relationships, now we are in a place where we can work with them, understand their needs, and provide them more customized solutions rather than 2 or 3 people for a project. So that is where we are trying to take Dexian, elevate our relationship from a vendor to a partner.
It's very nice. So when you elevate from being just a vendor to a partner, what are things that you have to do different to earn that status and to be treated as equal?
So first, you have to earn their trust and understand that they need that capability. They're looking for that capability from you. So we have to first develop that capability, make sure we can deliver on that trust. And when you do that, then they are looking to you for their problems and looking for a solution from them. And they're looking at you as a consulting partner rather than on the staffing side where they already know the project that they need to do. They need people for that project. So what we have to do and what we are doing is build capabilities around certain niche services, whether it's cloud, whether it's AI, ML, whether it's cyber, and have the capacity to then go to them and talk about those.
Interesting. At Dexian, you focus a lot on culture, and one key word that I keep hearing when I had conversations with the senior management is experience.
Yes.
You repeatedly keep focusing on giving a great experience. Tell us the ethos of that.
So we spend a lot of time trying to figure out that it's a crowded field. The talent gap services field is a crowded field. There are a lot of companies that provide talent. What is our differentiator? A lot of the times, as I said, talent solutions, talent is transactional. So people would come and say, we can provide your needs faster. People could come and say, we can provide your needs cheaper. But that's not really a differentiator. So as we dug deeper, we really decided that our differentiator is going to be the experience that people have when they are with us, an experience of the stakeholders. So not just our customers, but our employees, our consultants that we are placing, that we are going to give them a great experience from the get-go. And it's easy to say we're just going to give them an experience because it's a nebulous term. It's actually every touch point that you have with our stakeholders that it has to be great. And what it does is it makes you closer to them for the trust factor that's needed when they need you for another project. So we are going to invest in the experience, and it's going to be a journey. It's not going to be a switch that suddenly you're giving a great experience. It's about mindset. It's about understanding that each interaction is an experience, and you could have 10 good experience, but 1 bad experience, and people will remember the bad experience. So you almost have to be near perfect. So it is our job to ensure from the top to everyone that the value of the experience is that you're going to get a sticky customer, a sticky consultant, a loyal customer, and that's going to be a differentiator. And it's hard to replicate because you have to actually invest in it. You actually have to change the mindset in it. So people cannot just come and say, I'm going to be cheaper than Dexian. That's probably easier to do. But I'm going to give better experience than Dexian. They have to work at it.
Beautiful. Now, with 10,000 employees, I can understand if you're a smaller company, it's easy to set the ethos that you just mentioned. But with 10,000 companies at scale, that can be challenging. So I'm very curious to know, how do you set the culture? And what lessons can upcoming entrepreneurs learn from your success?
So, it starts with the values that we have set. Our values are truly human values. We are a human-centric organization. So our values set that guidelines of how we are going to behave with everyone. Experience is something that we talk about all the time. We are always saying that we are a people, business, finance organization. People come first. Business and the finance will follow if you take care of the people. I believe in the human potential. There is a lot to be said over there. So we are having, when we hire from our colleges and start our education program, our learning and development program, experience is built into each one of them. As we recruit people, we make sure that we have frequent touch points, which a lot of our competitors don't. As we do onboarding, as we do team building events, everything is based on, let's have a good experience. Let's have a place where it's not just a work. You can have a good career and you can enjoy your work. I'm a strong believer of, and I'm also a strong believer of that you should enjoy your work that you're doing, or you should find a different work, because you literally spend half your life working, of your awake hours working. So the environment that you work in needs to be more than just the paycheck. So we talk about that all the time, and it's, like I said, it's one of our three pillars: the people pillar and the primary pillar. And I think people that are, an organization is really a community. So people that want to be part of that community get attracted by that and they'll join that. People that don't want to, do all the stuff that's required to give the experience, because some of them takes time. As I said, it takes investment in people first before you get the results. They'll self-select out and they won't be part of Dexian. So that's how I think we are going to be able to do it. But as I said, it's still going to be a few years journey to get to where we are.
How not to self-select yourself out of Dexian would be in constantly upskilling and reskilling. And that's an area that Dexian puts in a lot of effort. So talk to us about that.
Yeah, so we have a unit that is dedicated to upskilling and reskilling. We also have various libraries in our learning system to self-educate. We also have online sessions for that. We believe that humans have to always keep on growing. There is no limit to learning, and the more skilled that you become, the more valuable that you can become to your community, to yourself. So we do emphasize on that. We take pride in learning and development. In fact, our second pillar is on the business is all about learning and development and developing our leaders, developing our people. Again, a good leader can develop a group of good people. True. So it's very important for that.
True. There is absolutely no denying the fact that AI is going to have a massive impact on jobs, especially in the technology jobs. Like today, I was listening to this podcast by the CEO of Stability AI, and they created this new tool called Dexian that pretty much does the work of a junior level software engineer. And it's predicted that forget 2 years, forget 1 year, in 6 months' time, it'll reach to a stage where it can confidently do work. So what advice would you give? So it's a two-pronged question. The first question is, for people who are in the software, should they be threatened? Should they be worried? What advice would you give? And the second one is, what impact does it have for organizations like Dexian?
Sure. So people who are in the coding business should be cognizant of the fact what's happening in that industry and what AI will replace. AI cannot replace human ingenuity, but AI will replace rote coding and things like that. What I would say generally is that not to be fearful of technology. Technology is there to enable you. And anybody who is there in a technical field that was coding should upskill themselves and look at the opportunities that are coming from the AI. Just to create that AI tool, there are engineers that are going to be needed. There are going to be people who has to train on AI, look at those jobs, upskill yourself for that. But AI is not going to replace your job. It cannot. It can replace certain repetitive part of the job. So it'll create the coding platform maybe, but you can build from that coding platform. It's no different than, I myself was a coder, by the way. So it's no different than when things like Visual Basic came, where you could drag and drop things and it would generate code behind it. Before that, we had to code in assembly language. Then you had to code in actual computer language like Pascal or C++. Nobody does that anymore. Now there are tools that generates those code. AI will be an extension of that. So to me, it's part of the evolution, and it's best to embrace it. Whether it's 6 months, 6 years, it is coming. So prepare for it.
It is coming, prepare for it. I completely agree with you. Especially, I'll give you an analogy. A year back, a friend of mine ran a very successful, well-staffed content creation business.
Right.
Fast forward 1 year, he's out of business, right? Because ChatGPT does way better than his 600 set of writers could do. So given that kind of impact, what industries, you have a beautiful ringside view, Maaruf, right? So you work with all leading companies around the world. You're in direct touch with the field force. What industries do you foresee to be heavily impacted? And that's it.
So the code generation industry, the software development industry is definitely one that's going to be severely impacted. Things like call centers, where the job is repetitive and the process is very well defined, is going to get impacted. A lot of the low-level help desk kind of areas probably is going to get impacted. But again, I think a lot of great opportunities are going to get created, and a lot of higher value jobs are going to get created from this. So,
sorry to interrupt. So high value jobs you mentioned. What jobs would they be, and how can people prepare themselves to get those?
Yeah, so high value jobs are new jobs that are coming from the AI arena, since we are talking about AI, right? Jobs of people training AI engines, jobs of people prompting AI to get the right answer, jobs of people that are working with AI to get a curated answer that is relevant. Today, you will see a lot of ChatGPT. When you ask a question, it's going to say that, please check the answer. It may not be accurate because it is going out there and it's making a best guess decision. How you make those more accurate, more relevant, there are going to be jobs around those. And I think that's where the opportunities will come.
Beautiful. And you spoke about Grand Circus, a company that you recently bought. That's primarily focused on upskilling. You use that internally, I'm sure, within Dexian. You also offer this as a service to other companies.
Yes.
What was your motivation behind that acquisition, and how is that turning out?
So we are in the business of talent gap, and when we look at the market, there's still a huge demand gap between how many people are available in the technical skill sets and how many jobs are available in those technical skill sets. And one way to reduce that gap is to upskill people or reskill people from similar technology to the newer technology. So as we talk to our clients, we see their pain. They are looking for 100 Java developers, and market doesn't have 100 Java developers in that area, but they may have 100 C++ developer that has that programming background, and we can upskill them to Java to be able to do the project. So we saw sufficient demand to offer that as a platform of services and taking to our customers as another thing that they can get from us.
Nice. I also want you to talk about how you're consciously pivoting from a staffing solutions company to actually a solutions company for people. Your entry into agri-tech, your focus on a digital transformation. So talk to us about how are you consciously pivoting towards those, and where do you see Dexian in the next decade?
Yeah, so we are launching services around digital transformation. As you talked about, we are doing GCC work for our clients that we want to offer them as something that
Global Capability
global
Center.
capability center.
For people who are new to that, could you explain the impact of that and what your services are?
So our services are going to be focused towards mid-market clients in US that do not know about the capability that we can provide them in India. And it's not just a cost arbitrage, it's actually a talent capability. There's a lot of talent in India. It's beyond the back office days where you would build a back office there and they would just do the road business. A lot of front office work gets done. So when you come to a foreign country, though, there are different challenges. There are regulatory challenges, there are employment challenges. Dexian, we have been in India for 12 years. We have met some of those challenges and we know what to do and we are building capability around it. Big customers like Citibank, JP Morgan, they already have GCC over here. But a small, Midwestern bank may not have it, but it will be a great competitive advantage for them to have a capability that they can tap into in India. So we are going to offer that as a service to the mid-tier clients of ours.
I also want to ask about, for entrepreneurs who are watching this conversation, 1994, Maaruf Ahmed started just another startup. It's probably you, and then you roped in your second rung of leaders, and look at you now. The tenacity to withstand for 30 years takes a completely different skill set than the one that you're starting off with. So what advice would you give for entrepreneurs?
Yeah. So we started this with my brother, who's the chairman right now. So it was a family enterprise, right? And we talked about it and we said, look, we are going to either make it or otherwise we have our own skill set to do something else. But I think, we were young and we were hungry to be successful, and we did whatever needed to be done in terms of working two jobs while we were building Dexian up. In fact, for 6 years, we had two jobs. I was myself an IT consultant.
Is that
and
so?
So was my brother. Yes.
Wow.
And in 2000 is when he decided to go full-time, and I joined him after 2 years to go full-time. So it was a lot of work to build the base, and really, I think I credit the fact that we were young enough to take risks that needed to be taken. We were not scared of failure. We learned from those failures and came back and tried something new. And I would say that part of our growth also has been that as we grew, we realized the value of specialists, and we got those specialists and started building our second tier of leadership that are better in those areas than us. In the beginning of the Dexian, I did legal, I did finance, I did IT, I did all that. And now I have a CIO, I have a CFO, I have a CLO, Chief Legal Officer, who are far better than me in those areas, and that only makes us stronger. So one of the challenges is for us to give up control as we are growing, so that others who are better than us can actually do that and trust that they're going to do that, right? So as a billion-dollar company, I have to trust people like Kumar, our India head, my C-suite to live the values that we are talking about, make sure that we are aligned, and give them the freedom to do what they do best. What got us here would not get us to the next level, but we believe that the best way to do it is to continually to learn, grow, and not be afraid of failure.
Amazing. I love that answer. I absolutely love that answer. I interview a lot of CEOs, and I'm very curiously conscious to learn about what traits make them successful. And one of them is, if you're not born with a silver spoon, you get an immediate advantage. You had a challenging childhood. Your dad passed away when you were very young, and you were 9 years old. You moved to the US. You did a lot of hard jobs, shoveling snow and cutting grass. And I'm curious to know, because you really slogged it out, did that help you in your success as an entrepreneur? I'm curious to know.
Yeah, absolutely. I do believe that it helped because what it showed to me and my brother, who was part of the entire journey, like I said, he is actually the one who started Dexian, and then we continued together, is that no job is menial enough to do, right? You do a job to get somewhere and you build from it. So I do believe that build the character of, doing the work that you have to do, getting your sleeves up and hands dirty and do the work. And as we grew, we got people to help us in those areas. So I do believe that our struggles basically made us a lot more resilient. It made us be able to take risk, be able to not be afraid of failure. And frankly, we like the job that we do. I mean, we are passionate about it. And I think that's important as well, to be passionate about what you're doing. So it's not just a job and you're not just a paycheck.
And I want to end this conversation on a note that I found that a trash can played a very significant role in your life. I want you to tell our audience.
Sure, yes. So when I came to US, I was 17 years old. I came to study engineering. I was in Bangladesh. I'm from a middle-income family, so it's not. I never really had a job in Bangladesh. So 17-year-olds, I come here on a student visa, and what student visa means that I'm primarily in the US to study. So I was not allowed to work anywhere else other than on campus. And the on-campus job that was really available at that time are the ones that people don't want to take. And in my case, it was in the grounds maintenance, which started at 6 a.m. in the morning. The basic job was to mow lawns in the summer, shovel snows in the winter, and do general cleanup of the campus. And cleanup of the campus required us to clean all the trash cans that were around campus. So we would get on a car and kind of pick all the trash cans. So one particular trash can was very unique because it was in front of the library. And at that time, the library was hub of all the social stuff. There was no mobile phones, there was no text messaging. The library had this black board out there where there were little squares there, and people would put a note in that square, hey, Maruf, meet me here, or somebody puts a thing. So everybody would go to the library, hang around the library and see the notes. So you can imagine as a 17-year-old picking up trash in front of your friends in the library was pretty daunting, right? And I would have friends who would throw extra trash in there just for the fun of it. So we did that, and I think I don't regret that because it is what paid for my education. It is what got us where it is. Like I said, made us look at a job as a noble thing that serves a purpose. But about a few years ago, the dean of George Mason Engineering came to us and asked for some donation, and which we gave them some donation. And initially we wanted to give an anonymous donation. But they came to us and said, look, we don't want to get an anonymous donation because we want to tell our alumni that these alumni have given, so we can encourage other alumni to give as well. So can you think of something? We can name a classroom after you, or we can maybe name a course after you. Let's plan on doing something. And me and my brother talked about it, and we said, nah, those are all normal stuff. How about we name the trash can in front of the library after us, right? So last September, basically the president of George Mason University and dignitaries came together, and we dedicated a trash can right in front of the library. We colored it gold color. All the trash cans are green, but this one is gold. And with essentially a quote saying that it does not matter where you start your journey, but it's how you continue the journey and where you end up. I think it's pretty unique because it's out there. I think the next generation of young students, maybe an immigrant from another country that comes and walks by it, can feel inspired by the fact that the tough life they may have that temporarily could get much better down the road. So we found that a unique way to give, and I think as the president of George Mason said, that we probably have the only endowed trash can in the United States. So yes, so that's the trash can story.
Yeah, that's amazing. So kudos to you for number one, for embracing difficulty, and second is for you to think audaciously different. right? And that's amazing. So thank you for that. And once again, congratulations on the 30th anniversary of Dexian. And I want to wish you the very best in the future.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you for the conversation.
Yes. Thank you.
We are Dexian. In the business for good.